Hello, hello, El Paso. Welcome to the Jackie Stevens Home Show podcast. Man, what a great guest I have here today, guys. I get to introduce to you one of our EXP compadres out in Ohio, Ohio's finest. What's up, Big John?
What's shaking, man? How are you doing today, Edgar?
Doing good, my man. Thank you so much for jumping on today. I wanted to bring a little different twist to our people here in El Paso, and really just across the globe now, right? That's what EXP does. We're everywhere. So it's amazing that I get to have these kind of conversations with you, and So first off, and I hate to sound like your typical interview kind of deal, but who is John Clark? And tell us a little bit about you, my man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you having me here, first of all, you and your whole team. So, I guess just a born sales guy, honestly, man. Back in the day, I grew up a military brat, and it goes back as far as 6 years old. My mom had one of those, looms, I don't know if you know that you can make pot holders and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Showed us how to do it when I was 6. My little brother was 4. We made a few of them. I was like, ding, let's go door to door and sell these. First cold calls, bam. It was off the races after that. Always been a retail and or restaurant type hustler, cat. You know what I mean? I've been on both sides of the law hustling, and believe me, this side pays way better and is way cooler. So I try to use the skill. The skills are still the same. It's the mouthpiece, right? It's a matter of getting in front of people. I'm the dude that talks in the elevators, unfortunately. So it's just been. I was a corporate sales guy, much like you, for a long time, and have been dealing with CEOs and CFOs to put together document destruction programs, right? So I was lucky enough to be number 1 in the world for Shredit, which you guys have there locally as well, for inside sales for the whole company. And it was pretty much by a landslide over number 2 as well. So what I decided to do was start a best practices email and basically become a mentor for 140 people across the globe. And that's when I determined that that's what I need to do. I need to build people up, and I need to develop them so they can, kind of do their thing. And when I decided to leave there, funny enough, the reason why I left Shredit, they wanted me to move to Dallas. It was supposed to be a travel job, which I was still cool because my wife's too hot for me. I got to stay local, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not leaving her anywhere. She works on base, and she doesn't need my ass, so I definitely got to keep her happy. So anyway, I left there because they wanted me, instead to travel, they wanted me to go to Dallas and cut the legs out get people to move to one of 5 regional call centers or fire them. And I just don't get down like that. So I left. Yeah. Did a little research, found the best brokerage possible, and turns out it was a gentleman I've known for 2.5 years, an ex-police officer who teamed with somebody from Keller Williams as well. And they went on with EXP early. I think stock was like $6 a pop back then, and now we know where it is after that split too. So I know it was a great move. I've been a recruiter, a guy that tries to build up and help people meet up together, whether, you're a guy that needs someone. I know a guy that has that skill. I put them together, never got anything out of it, right? I just did it for the good of the companies and friends and building relationships. Well, now I'm compensated for it. So it's kind of a nice thing. If you help somebody become successful, you will yourself become successful or more successful. So that's about where I'm at now, brother.
That's awesome, man. And amazing story. When we brought you on, I kind of, obviously we do a little bit of, I don't want to call it research, but, who am I talking to and stuff like that. And I saw your background. I saw a lot of mine, very similar. We were in that corporate world, and you deal with the challenges that brings. And one of the reasons that I really, really wanted to get you on here, John, is just that passion that you bring on a daily basis. You're an early riser. You like to grind it. I think that's your upbringing there in Ohio too. It just brings it up crazy style for us here. And so we follow that. And I wanted to bring you on just to kind of touch on that, because it's been about 2.5 years that you've been in the real estate business now, and completely just killing it. I mean, doing great stuff. What are some of the things that you can share with a brand new agent? And really, I think this doesn't matter where you're at. You can do this anywhere. And I know you've done it through your social media. Kind of touch on that a little bit for us so that we can share with the audience.
Absolutely. Well, this kind of ties into the newest great news we just had here recently. I don't know if you know, my license plate says 10X EXP, has for 2 years, by the way, before this ever happened, because I've been following that cat since 2014 when he flipped me and turned me into this crazy dude that I am now. And so the thing was, coming into this type of business, I knew that I didn't know anybody, right? I mean, I know everybody in the area because I've cold called every business known to man in 15 years all around where I live. I mean, there's not a place in Cincinnati, Columbus, and Dayton that probably hasn't seen this ugly face come in and try to get their business at some sort of sweet talk the girl up front, the gatekeeper trying to get the info, you know? So
yeah, for sure.
But that doesn't equate to people buying homes from you. So what I had to do early on was the same as we had to do, and I'm preaching to the choir when I'm talking to you about prospecting and staying on at 8 to 5. There, you have to do it. That's why it was like when we talked earlier before this, there's no passion in that, right? You can be passionate about, hey, I get to bring my girl to Jamaica for President's Club if I kick butt this year, but that's not like a passion here. You know what I mean? Like putting someone in a home or like great story. Last month it was called. Week and a half, my friend said, man, dude, I need a rental. I'm going to be out in a month and a week out of this house because the guy's selling the place. And he said, I'm out. So found out just through a few questions that I could actually get him pre-approved. And now he's actually under contract and closing 2 days after he's supposed to be out of that place, to which we've got that worked out. So, but that's helping a gentleman. You know what I mean? That was getting somebody that was normally giving his money away to somebody else. Now he's going to be building a life for himself. And he's 5 minutes from work instead of 45. So, you know, now it's easy to go to sleep like that when you're like, you know, helping somebody. It's like, that's the good stuff. So, and in real estate, I don't have to follow a bunch of corporate rules, like not telling a customer to kiss my ass if they disrespect me, excuse my French. You know what I mean? Or I fire people. I've fired 3 clients in 21 so far just because they're disrespectful.
Exactly.
You do work for them, then they talk to another agent. I'm like, I'm sorry, loyalty is everything with me. And I'm a pretty gangster agent for you to make you get what you want. So if you're going to go outside of that and you want to venture out and talk to, fine, have at it. I'm out. I do enough work that I'm going to replace you in 2 seconds. So that's kind of the thing. So I'm sorry, I went away from your question, didn't I? To help new agents actually blow up, every time you get a win, multiply it. So like when you look through a kaleidoscope, right? Yep. You see stuff everywhere. So look, you get a brand new listing, right? Just coming post everywhere. Exactly. All profile, then you got it under contract. What? Under contract post? You know what I mean? Within 12 hours sold it, blah, 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 competitive, blah, blah. You know, then it's then you close and there's a picture with me and the client, close with me and the agent that I'm cool with now, book close. Oh, me and the lender that I brought through with. Oh, the closer I know too. What? Dude, I can go all day. And that's just from a listing. You can make yourself look like you're ultra successful without literally closing a ton of deals. I think the average real estate agent closes 6 deals a year, right? As Lee said, when it was maybe first year out or something like that. So if they make it, first 15% they actually make. So you have to act like you actually close 45 deals for people to act like they actually want to, you know, you want them to come to you. And my goal is to never touch that phone again, to not have to dial like I did like a telephone terrorist back in the day. Now I just want to get on here, act crazy, and be like, that dude's not right. I want him to help me. That's the goal.
No, and that's amazing, man. And I know that you've done it with different platforms. You know, you go on Facebook, you go on LinkedIn, you go on, you know, Instagram, you just name it and you're on there. It's very consistent. It's sharp. And that's the one thing I think everybody can just really, I hate to say it, but kind of steal off of it because it just really works. You know, like when I reach out to you and I say, hey, can I use this? Can I share this? Because it's just sometimes very strong. Those quotes that you throw on first thing early morning gets me going. And I want you to know that, you know, sometimes I see it. I'm like, I'm on my way to the gym and I'm like, not feeling it today. I said, nah, man, I'm going to go grind it out.
Me again, dude. You got to stop this. I get goosebumps. This is exactly why I do it, though. Like when you see the ones in Honey Badger group that I post, I do that for us. Like people always like, hey, man, can I steal this? Hey, I'm stealing this. Oh, can I share it? Can I borrow it? Whatever the hell it is. I'm like, man, listen. If I want you to not have access to it, I'll slap my damn logo on it and call it a day. I make ones with just John stuff to throw on my personal profile. And then I make one specifically with nothing but EXP to slap on there so we can take market share from these fools that haven't got hip to where they're supposed to be yet. You know what I mean? So that's it. And it's free. What it doesn't, I'm doing it anyway. It takes 2 extra minutes just to slap a different logo on the bad boy and throw it on a group. But people want to say thank you. It's sweet, and I love it. But I'm trying to tell them they don't have to. And so I started. All the stuff I make, I put on Pinterest. Like I'm an amateur comedian too. Like there's some stuff that you probably be like, damn that guy. But either way, I do a lot of motivational stuff and stuff specifically for my business. Stuff for because I'm the social media manager for the Level High Living team, and I also do stuff strictly for EXP. And I have an EXP board that I put everything in. So if every once in a while I'll post it on the Honey Badger page, it's not to say, hey, high five, John. It's I want everybody to see it and to go there so they can take free stuff all day long that, you know, it's been working for me. Why the hell else would it would work for everybody else too, I think. So.
No, and I agree, man. And you know what's so crazy is we get asked this question a lot, right? Especially here in El Paso. EXP's, you know, definitely gained a lot of positive momentum, and it's coming and starting to grow. And a lot of it has to do with, you know, us coming into the picture, and there's other groups that put together, and because we work together, you know, we work together to make this kind of come forefront and really help develop people into, you know, being the next big leader and really just be able to be successful out there. And you nailed it on the spot. And I love that you said it, not me, that you're here to help everyone else succeed, man. That's a win, multiple all day long, however you want to do it. And I think that's what's key. You know what I mean? We've been through some other brokerages where, you know, you just to even ask like, hey man, how did you land that listing over there? You know, or whatever it is. And they're just, you know, they want to close the door on you, be so secretive or anything like that. You mentioned our group, and I say our group because a lot of people don't know outside of VXP, but man, Honey Badgers, right? I mean, what does that name itself bring not only to you, but everybody that's in it and a part of it?
Well, everybody knows, right? Honey Badgers don't care, right? Those dudes, they'll go straight up to a line and be like, bring it on. So it's the same general concept. I mean, you know, you got some of the original guys, I think, that started this group, or some of that really came in early. And there's some of the big hitters in this industry, man. I mean, that were prior to being with EXP. And all of them are coming from a place of abundance, man. It's like, it's real addictive when you see people like you, Edgar, and Jay Kinder and Albie Stasic and my boy John Kitchens and Holly Kitchens and all these people like here, Nick Cram, right? Like oh God, my boy Say Al, oh God, I forget his name, but either way, just nonstop love. That no one's like, hey man, come take out my KAV core class and it'll cost you $199 and you'll be cool. You know what I mean? Like, it's all like, hey, let me show you a little hack here. Let me do this here. I help literally probably about 9 agents across the country. Some in California, I got one in Wisconsin that's now moving. And they hit me up. I've sent them to my guy to get logos. I'm teaching them how to do stuff with the meme apps that I use to create all this stuff. Because, you know, I create stuff for people every once in a while. I look at their backgrounds and I'm like, God, that's your business background? And I send them over one like, don't be mad at me, but this will be way cooler for you. And, you know, but I want to just help people, you know, across. I'll help as many people as I can that fits in the time, as long as I can still close deals, you know. But it's just easy. I'm doing it anyway, so why not share? You know,
that's great, man. And I said you feel it, man. Like you said, goosebumps. I got him over here. I'm like, man, I want to work with this guy, you know. And we're gonna have to be doing this more often, man. To be honest, because I love the spirit and everything that you bring to it, and it's with purpose, and you know it's sincere, it's genuine, and it's all across the board, man. And I appreciate that. So talk to me a little bit about, you know, with the craze, and I don't want to call it a craze, but everything that EXP is doing, right? You came in, you said our stock was not very high, but you believed in it. So from the very first day that someone came and talked to you, hey, you know, this is a cool brokerage, you know, it's cloud-based, you know, all the little things that, you know, that makes us who we are today. What led you to start there? Where do you think you're at now with it? And then moving down like 5 years from now, if you could, what do you see us going? I mean, really, what do you believe in, John? Give it to me.
What a great question. So I didn't come here because of EXP or for anything that it offered. I came here because of a person, somebody that I knew would have my back, that just happened to be with the most badass brokerage in the world. And I didn't know anything about it. I just know that I've done the shredding for damn near every brokerage in town, and they're all a bunch of old fogies. And the people that I was actually dealing with were younger, hipper, cooler cats, right? That I know can handle my mouth. Believe me, I'm being real cool right here. I'm trying, my man. But it's like I have Tourette's syndrome typically, you know, outside of here. I'm professional for the clients, but I lose my mind with bad drivers, or just in general, I just create stuff with sentence enhancers. So these guys had me all the way from the beginning. And so it was kind of funny when they first, I called this guy because I got a kind of a crazy past with him for the last 20 years. Only seen each other 3 times. That's another interview, and you will love that story for sure. But came to work with him and the other gentleman because Mike Wall, who you may know as well, he's my team lead. He does a lot of interviewing. he was one of the top guys from Keller Williams in the state, right? So I knew that. I also knew my boy John Poleski, who now runs a mortgage company. He's also was doing really well, and they were on a team kind of together, and they decided to go and do their thing. So I came, and this is what I always say in those mastermind groups too, when everybody's like talking like, what brokerage should I go with? It's the dumbest question in the world, because there is no brokerage you should go with, to be honest with you. Don't get me wrong, all right? This is the one as it relates to me, you, and a lot of people, that if you do your research and you want to eventually have your own business and have everything included in one fee, that's the spot right there. There's no question whatsoever. But you should never go because of a brokerage, because if I can go pick up somebody right now from Hondros, bring them back here, hey, you're with EXP, peace out, and leave. That's what all these people do. That's what all these brokerages do. They bring somebody back to an island, then they get on their boat and they bring their ass back over to somewhere to get another person and put them over here. And that's why we have 4,442, I think, agents in Dayton, and only 1,000 of them know how to sell. I mean, or maybe a little bit more, but hardly. I mean, there's that many people that they make this so easy to get into that everybody does it, right? So unfortunately, there's just not the support. That's why I like this. You don't get compensated unless you help them become successful. It's a fair trade-off, in my opinion.
No, I think you nailed it. That's exactly what it is. It's that being able to reciprocate without, feeling guilty for it or feeling like you have to. It just automatically happens, and that's what we've gotten all across the board. Just you mentioned some of the big names. We can call them and have access to them, and they're not sending you hey, cash out me this fee or this amount so you can talk to me and I can give you a little tidbit that you can probably read on my book, and that's going to cost you another little bit. And it's like, you don't see that, right? No. Everything is just a phone call away. I think I called you a few days, say, hey, you know what, a spot opened up for us. I hate to, leave it blank. And when I had an opportunity to say, hey, man, I can bring John Clark up into this mix, I mean, you didn't even hesitate, man. And I appreciate that. Because like I said, it helps us from just a bigger perspective than just here in El Paso. We always like to bring that, and I like to bring it to our guests that actually watch our show, on a weekly basis, so that they can get something different. We're not caught up in the same deal, right? Now, one thing that I will, if you can just share, because I'm pretty sure you're dealing with the same thing there in Ohio, is the shortage of inventory, right? Yeah. And so how are you dealing with some of that right now when it comes with buyers? And then also, how are you attracting, those sellers that are maybe on the fence kind of deal? And I mean, it's a pretty general, basic question, but, I'd like to get your thoughts on it if you can share on here as well.
Honestly, it's about staying on it, man. A lot of people get comfortable after they get a deal, right? Or you get a big, I'm looking at your intro, all the gorgeous places you have out there. I'm assuming you close one of those bad boys, you got a pretty nice check, right? So a lot of people like to sit back on their ass and they let that roll through. Oh, wait, now it's time to work again. And now it's 45 more days until the next one, or 30 days, or if you're lucky, a cash deal, maybe 2 weeks. But either way, it's got to be a constant grind. That's why, I wasn't trying to brag about firing clients. Believe me, it's the last thing I ever want to do. But the last thing before that I'll ever do is ever let somebody disrespect me ever again. I'll never have a manager or any man or human ever talk down to me again unless I go to jail shortly thereafter. It will never happen. I will not do that. My wife, like I said, way too good. I'd rather be around her, right? Like I'd rather be around her and my son who looks like her and talks like me, so we're screwed later. But what I really want to do is just is do right by everybody and try to come from a place of abundance, like all the leaders that we're surrounded by, right? And out here, selling, I just stay in front of people. I'm up at 3 a.m. I'm in the office at 4. I'm bragging about it to every single person that I possibly can. And the reason why is because I remember CEOs and CFOs back in our job were there usually pretty early at work to get stuff done, right? And that's because their job is crazy after that. When people start actually getting to work in normal times, like 8 or whatever, right? That's when everything gets live and these guys are done and there's no more love for them. So what if this cat wants to move or sell something? I'm his dude. I'm up before he is. Let's do this, And so that's who I'm trying to go after. So I've been getting some of those people. I've been getting a lot of people hitting me up on Messenger saying, dude, I kind of like your very nice compliment. Man, look, I'm starting to see who my crowd is. Because the people that come back and say, hey, good morning, John, good morning, right back after I say, hey, good morning, early risers. And I put that across every single platform. I'm hunting. I'm looking for the people that are looking for someone like me. That's what it. And then buyers, that's just the grind. You just got to continue to do it. You got to be able to. That's another thing about getting up early. I get up early to come in here, do my video real fast, because it's not as cool as everybody thinks. It's between 30 and 150 takes to make that thing happen. So after that happens, I sit down and do all my research and stuff, and that's when I can send stuff to people before they wake up, so they're ready for me as soon as they, when they get up, it gets to me, and then we're off, and we can get stuff done a little bit faster. Plus, I got some gangsters in here anyway that if there's ever a problem, we just talk it all out, figure out the best way to attack it, and typically, I don't have too many problems winning deals.
No, that's awesome, man. And again, I always tell people, man, it's the work that you put in. I'm sure you get the calls, the text messages. Hey, John, I see you're doing absolutely wonderful. You're doing great. I'm glad you got out of it. You're doing amazing. What can I do to get into real estate? And they want to forget that you haven't changed. You know, you have the grind that you did while you were with Shredit, when you were a licensed agent with insurance and everything. It's a grind. It's a continued grind, and it continues here with real estate more than ever. You just happen to enjoy it more. Because like you said, you're helping people. There's a passion behind that, and and you want to multiply, right? You want to do it again. And like you said, you don't sit on it and dwell on it and be like, oh man, that was awesome. And that's great. And I sold this amazing home. And no, it's on to the next, and we tell the guys that, had just started here with us, it's the same thing, man. Don't lose that grind, keep it going. You can go cliche or, early bird gets the worm, man. That just,
it's true. I don't care what anybody says. The more, like everybody's like, the harder you work, dude, listen, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
Absolutely.
The more calls you make, the more you're going to trip over a dude like, you know what? I do. My neighbor was selling his house, wants to sell his house. Holy crap. I can't believe he called me, Yeah, let me give you his number. I mean, those only happen if you're actually making phone calls, and contrary to popular belief, your mom and dad and uncles and everybody, they're not buying from you, by the way. So don't join real estate if you think your family and friends are buying from you. That's just
right. Yeah. Couldn't agree more, man. It's so accurate, and it is what it is. I always tell people, it's like, look, man, you got to be willing to open your boundaries, and leads are great and all that happens, but it's what you do and that's how you're going to bring in your leads, with your work and multiplying that work over and over again. So tell me a little bit. We got the 10X Uncle G in the house. What do you? First of all, are you making the trip down to Orlando?
You mean for the 10X conference?
Yeah.
Nah, man, dude, I don't have that much money, brother. It's not coming like my wife will beat me unmercifully if I haven't asked for that ticket. So, but the good news is I have already bought the $97 ticket, and I am doing it first. Matter of fact, I'm going to try to make an event here at my office because I had another one of my agents here local. She saw my post the other day. She goes, "What do you think? Should I do this?" She goes, "I think I already know your answer." And I'm like, yes. Plus, you get $97 in credit in his store, which has got a bunch of great resources, all books I already owned anyway, but it's still great for new agents. And if you get into it, man, it's basically free 99, man. He's going to give you a bunch of cool stuff afterwards, but it's worth it. And I'm going to try to set it up here. I've been a huge fan of Grant's for a long, long time. And when that news popped, it was a wrap. I mean, I know I don't know if I said it earlier, if it was before the interview, but my license plate says 10X EXP for 2.5 years. Well before, this dude decided he was going to come over.
That's awesome, man. No, great story. I mean, think about that, right? 2.5 years ago, and you said, I believe in it. And because you see it, and obviously everybody's starting to see it, man. Nationwide, I think our numbers speak for themselves. We're starting to grow over and over and all over places. Now it's for us, Mexico's open. So we're
countries nonstop.
Yeah, we're border. We're bordered to Mexico right here with Juarez. So there's a lot of cool places, and that's just the beginning of it. I think there's a lot of so much more room for growth. And I think everybody's excited for it. Definitely the right place to be at the right time. So very, very excited about that. I know you spend a lot of time with the fam. So I have three beautiful girls, and I got my little man, and then of course I've been married now with Miss Jackie for what seems like millions of years, but it's awesome, and we work together, man. So it's an amazing thing that we got going on. How has that freed up some time for you and your family, or how do you make time for it, man? Because I know you're busy across the board.
Yeah, but see, that's another reason why I come in early too. So by the time most agents are coming in at 9 o'clock, I've already had 5 hours of work in. By the time lunch hits, I've already got a full day's work already done. At that point, I'm already home. I go home after I'm done with my stuff here. I go home between 6:30 and 8 to get my kid ready on the bus and to set my wife is a civilian employee on base, but now can work at home since COVID. And so every morning I come home and make sure everything is set up in the house. Beautiful, clean. The house is clean, kitchen's clean. Her desk is set up and beautiful. I have all the vitamins laid out for the whole family and all that. I get everything ready, get my kid ready, get him to school. Then I bounce back to work. And then I'll come back later and, we work it out, the appointments from there on. But my wife,
that's
like
awesome, man.
does not need me.
And it's funny. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. And what's funny is that I could say I'll get on, and first thing I hate to say it, but I will get on Facebook or whatever it is. And then I see you and I see what your updates are, right? You're like, I already got these appointments set up. I'm like, holy shoot, I'm getting my ass kicked already, man. I got to get my game up, you know what I mean? And so I said, man, I'm falling behind here. So I try to do something similar to it. I mean, I try to be here as early as I can because I don't want to fall behind. And it's funny because, I mean, totally different markets, but that mentality that you put in place, man. And I say, I follow you, man. And I do. And thank you for that, dude, because it's good for me. And I try to make sure that our team picks it up because, being here early, it makes it happen. And people go, man, how'd you get this? How'd you get that? Guess what, man? I didn't knock out any one of my calls. They all hung up on me this morning. Yeah. But you know what, man? Because I was busting my tail that whole time for, 2-3 hours, whatever it was. Now I'm getting the callbacks here later on in the day, getting the appointments, getting this. And now they want to buy. All of a sudden, some guy I hadn't talked to in about 6 months. Hey, man, I'm ready to buy and I'm qualified.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's
shoot.
How it works. You don't stop until they, right? What do they say before you call them until they buy or die? Straight up. I mean, there's only 3 things that need to happen on a phone call. Let's do this, piss off, or call me later. One of those 3 things have to happen, and you should thank them for all 3, right? Either We're doing some business, awesome. Either we're no longer wasting time with you, awesome. And or we're gonna see you later down the line. We'll see if that's awesome. Either way. You just got it. I'm preaching the choir with you. Your telephone. You didn't get to those positions I saw on LinkedIn without making phone calls and being, on your stuff. So it's the same thing, man. If you can take what I feel like agents do when they get into this industry is they're like, woohoo, I got all this time. Now I can do whatever I want. And then they fail to actually live by a calendar or a time like when you were in a job and you had somebody cracking a whip on you and making you stick to a certain goal. In this place, another reason why I get up this early is because I want agents to see this and say, you know what? I get up early too, but I can never go on my brokerage because these fools don't come in for 3 or 4 hours. Guess what? Doors open here. You come on in, you can work with me all day long. We'll get it in early. I'll teach you stuff that no other agent's going to get to learn because you have access to me straight up. So, Shoot. That's kind of who I'm trying to get. So I always try to prioritize the family and all that in between. But as I said, early morning, knock it out, little bit of family. They're all busy. And then after school, it's straight family again. Now, if calls come in, they understand my job is 24/7, 365. So I jump off, do my thing and get right back. But I don't mess with people that will not be pre-approved. I will not show a home unless they're pre-approved because you're taking me away from my wife, dude. Sorry. If you end up being, falling in love and then we can't get the house, I just want to beat you. So we better just make sure we're on the straight and narrow to start off with. I'm just kidding about that, by the way.
But it's facts, right? And you gotta, and it's funny because when you first start, you kind of, I know I did it, even though Jackie warned me time and time, like, don't do that unless this happens, follow these steps, please. But of course, me being as stubborn as I am, I have to go and figure it out for myself. But true story, yeah. I mean, I went out there, it's like you ready to buy a house, they love it, this and that, and they're not ready. And not only do you not get that deal, but now, like you said, it's taking you away from your family where you should be and spending that good quality time with them because now you're just you just killed that, 2-3 hours, whatever it was. But shoot, man,
it shows their commitment to you. It shows their commitment. Like, I'm a professional real estate agent who will damn near kill people to get you what you want. Okay. But you have got to show me something. if you're either come pre-approved or willing to talk with, I've got a few different people, whoever you want, man. I'm not going to drive you to anybody specifically. I don't care. You just have to be pre-approved. And that's not just for me. Who wants to fall in love with a $250,000 house when you're only approved for $160 when you find out later, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's no bueno. It just sucks. So it's get it out in the middle, explain the process, understand that these things can happen during the process. If in fact that it's all about education. If it ends up that we're in a competitive situation, these are the things that you're going to have to do in order to get this. If you're not willing to do them, I get it. I don't want to spend your money, but you need to know that these things happen in order to get it. If not, let's not waste the time writing, when someone says, hey, let's do an offer for 20 grand under a list, first day on the market. I'm like, yeah, right. Not going to happen. So, I'll let you get away with one and then that's a wrap, but that's no. It's just, you got to educate and you got to have zero. I think you have to be very forthright and forward with people. And I am not everyone's cup of tea. Okay. So that is for sure. I'm a very energetic out there guy. I work hard, but I expect appreciation for what I do. I mean, I'm going to get paid. I don't expect you to high five me and tell everybody I'm the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I've done things that I know other agents cannot do because they just don't have access to the same people that I do or the things that access to some of the things that I can get done, period. And unfortunately, that's why when people dip or talk to somebody else, I lose my mind and cut them out completely, and that's a wrap. They're done. And I just move on to the next one. So some people think that's cocky or kind of a, excuse the phrase, dick move, but at the end of the day, I'm not going to waste 1 second of my life on anybody that's not appreciative anymore.
Nah, man, and good for you, man. Like I said, and I think your results will continue to speak for themselves and for how you do and handle business. And not on, I wouldn't be surprised if it didn't work any other way, man. You got it down, and I want to wish you the most success on that, man. Truthfully, and just because I love it, man.
I appreciate you, man. And just so you know, we got the old school version, right? Right.
There you go.
New one. Wait till you see what I drop on you next week. It's going to be crazy. You guys are going to go nuts for this one, and I'm just kind of trying to figure out the best deal to leverage what's going to happen after I do this post. But it's going to be up. You can see there's the old school hat tree there, or the hat tree, the EHP tree.
Yep. Man. So I reached out. Okay. So right now on the when we're off here, definitely need to get you up to date, man, because I haven't gotten a call back. So
I'll handle all that because he's supposed to have 2 sweatshirts for me today. So yeah. So send me that correspondence and I'll put it in his face.
There you go. And I appreciate it, man. But before I let you go, man, 2 things. Really, from my and Jackie's standpoint, I want to thank you for taking the time, man, joining us on here, throwing what you do, what's made you very successful. Again, we wish you the very best when it comes to that. And I'm glad to be partnered up with you, even though it's the first time meeting, John, right? So, and it feels like I've known you for a long time. And so I want to continue that relationship, man. And again, this is what EXP does. And brings out of the agents nationwide, guys. You guys get to be able to pick up conversations, tips, what works, what doesn't work. And for me, I'm sharing it here with John, man. It's that motivation. It's the, that I like to compete, man. And I'm like, hey, you know what? John already has this above me today. Let me catch up. Let me do this. And I love to know that I can do that at any time. And then more importantly, man, I got a hookup now. I can call you on the phone and be like, hey, man, this is what's going on.
Anytime. I like getting jazzed up, man. Yeah, anytime you want to just get fired up, call me up, or if you need fired up, holler at me. I'll definitely do that for you. But one thing for sure, thank you so much, Edgar and Jackie, for having me on. And if your agents or anybody that's in your network here has any questions, all the stuff that I've done to date with all of the memes, whether they be real estate, humor, motivation, EXP related, whatever it is, it's all free. So if you want to learn how to do any of that, or if you have any questions, man, you can reach out. I think I sent you all my information, but you have my email, phone number. Give it to anybody you want. I don't care. I'm trying to help. Until it gets debilitating, I'm going to keep helping as many people as I possibly can. Then I'm going to figure out how to scale that.
I love it, John. And like I said, and for those reasons, man, that you mentioned there, man, we're very appreciative of that, because you are that giver. You share the stuff, and you're not, you don't shy away from it, and it's all positive things, man. So guys, Follow him on any of these social applications, guys. I tell you, man, you'll get a kick out of it. It'll get you motivated, it'll get you pumped, make you win the day. I love it. This 2021, man, it's a big year. I think we're all geared for it. I love the fact that I have the brokerage to back me up when it comes to that, and so many other great agents. John, before I let you go, I gotta do it. I gotta do it, man. We all know whose birthday it is today.
That is my man. Let me see here. Today is Michael Jordan, the best basketball player ever. So give me 2 quick seconds here. Let me make sure I still. Yep, here it is. All right. Let's see if I can swing it. All right. All right. So good morning and happy Wednesday. It's John Clark with your 45-second birthday breakdown. Turns out you share your birthday with my man, Michael Air Jordan. He's a 6-time NBA champion, 6-time NBA Finals MVP, 5-time NBA MVP, and 2-time slam dunk champion. He's also the NCAA Division I champ from the Tar Heels. It's way smoother when you do it 130 times, brother. Now I look like a jackass more than I normally do.
I love it, man. And again, man, thank you so much, John, for joining us today. And man, God bless. Keep kicking some ass, man. I love it. I love the stories, and we'll definitely be in touch, my man.
I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day, okay? Thanks again.
You got it, man. Thank you.
Take it easy, brother.